Anyway, so when you get to the top of your cherry blossoms, you're not necessarily going to need to do the negative drawing technique unless you have done the sky. Does that make sense? You can draw them like this and then shade around if you want to. But since we've already done the negative drawing technique, why don't we just continue doing that up here? Okay? So we're going to fast forward here. I'm going to put this over here like so. We're going to fade out and come back. So I applied one layer of shade to everything except for the ice cap. And I'm going to do 2 layers of shade back here for my sky. That way my mountain can come forward. Okay. And then we're going to smudge it all. So I'm going to fade out and fade in, and then we will return when I'm done smudging. Okay, so we have 2 layers of smudge here in the back. I'm going to add 1 more layer back here to help bring this forward more. You can start seeing that. This guy's coming forward. Whatever I have left on my cloth, I'm going to put it in here. Just be careful to not smudge over your buildings. Okay. And then try to add a fine-tune layer just outside of Mount Fuji to help solidify this triangular shape here. You don't want all of that hard work to fade off into the distance. So I very lightly feathered in an edge here. And because I did it lightly, it's not really going to show. It's not really going to show that there's texture here. Does that make sense? Because I'm smudging it out. If you do it lightly, the texture disappears. You want that smoky, hazy look in your sky. Go ahead and darken some of your water to help reestablish that there's a reflection here. And then you're going to bring your cap back out by using your eraser. And we're just going to add some veins in here. The feather light. Feather light zigzag touch. Use those cracks and divots, tree lines, and different things that you find on Mount Fuji's surface. And we're just going to help build the contrast between the mountain and the sky. I'm gonna put some lines in the sky because I want to emphasize that this is kind of like a volcano. Okay. Telling you, my throat's just raw from all the drainage that I'm experiencing due to the weather. I don't like it. All right, let's crispen that line. Give them a nice separated feel here. Okay. Just like you did here, you're going to do the same thing to your cherry blossoms up here if you decided to do the negative drawing technique. Now, if you decided to do the opposite technique, you would shade, you'd add these shadows or this filler shade in between your cherry blossom shapes or your cherry blossoms. But since we did the negative drawing technique, we're just going to continue. You might have to re-solidify or re-lighten your cherry blossoms in your water area. I did those first because I wanted something for you guys to see before the class was over. But you're literally going to repeat what you did down here. You're going to repeat up here. Go ahead and darken your tree branches. Now that we're satisfied with the amount of layers we have for our smudge area, it's safe to start thickening and making your stuff more realistic. Now, cherry blossoms are super delicate, right? And in the springtime, sometimes there's these huge monsoon gusts of wind. So sometimes some of the branches are bare or skeletal-like because all the cherry blossoms fly off of the branch. So expose some of that branch, you know. So I'm going to continue doing this outside of class. But now that you have your cherry blossoms set up, you can kind of continue your village or whatever's going on in here. You can add whatever skyscrapers you want now that you're satisfied with how things are looking, and just continue doing what you did over here. Continue it over on this side of the paper. But I want you to choose what type of building shapes you want to use for this area. Okay. So that, my friend, is how you do Mount Fuji.